Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Today's episode includes 2 stories. Enjoy. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Don't mess with IT. About 10 years ago, on Neptune, I was working on my first software development job out of university. We made websites, promotional material, and supplied equipment for conferences and trade shows, so if a company wanted a booth at some event, we would produce everything and support them for the duration of the event. This is where I came across Maleficent. She was in charge of the marketing department of a company on nearby Pluto, and they hired us for a convention they were attending. I produced the website for them, which consisted of some pictures/videos of their latest product with a few paragraphs of text, also some links to their social media, a sign-up form, etc. Pretty basic stuff. It's important to note here that I never met Maleficent in person during this time, just talked to her once on the phone, the rest via email. She mainly dealt with our project manager, a lovely woman called Credenza, who made sure all the different parts worked together. Part 1. The F-Up. Everything was going fine. I'd produced their website and was just waiting for Maleficent to send some images and videos of their product to replace the placeholders I'd been using in the meantime. This was a Tuesday. The event was the following Monday. I emailed Maleficent asking when I could expect the files and got no reply. Still no reply Wednesday, so Thursday I asked Credenza to chase it up. She stopped by my desk a short after, a bit flustered. She'd just spoken to Maleficent, who'd angrily claimed that she had sent them the previous week and had emailed me. She blamed Credenza and me for being incompetent. I could find it nowhere in my inbox/junk folder, so as far as I was concerned, she was lying or had sent it to the wrong email. Credenza contacted her again, confirming my email address and asked her to send them again. She shouted at Credenza some more, but eventually sent the files, but not until the last moment on Friday afternoon as I was getting ready to leave for the weekend. I had to run that evening, but I promised Credenza I would log on Saturday morning and copy the files to the website, and everything would be ready for Monday. Saturday morning, and the video files didn't work. I don't remember the details exactly, but the files were made using some kind of proprietary codec that I just couldn't convert to something usable on their website. Long story, marginally less long, I spent Saturday praying to the gods I didn't believe in for a miracle that wouldn't happen while trying to get in contact with Maleficent. Eventually, on Sunday, she replied back, and I slowly walked her through the process of using another video format. She was using some crappy pirated software I'd never heard of to produce the videos. When she finally sent it, it still was wrong, but at least it was in a format I could read and convert myself. It all worked out in the end. The website was ready by Sunday evening, and the convention went well. Part 2. Trying to get me fired. Following the convention, Maleficent was furious. She again accused us of incompetence and me personally for effing up her weekend. What about my weekend? I fired back at what a pain in the butt Maleficent had been. The guys who met her at the event said she was no easier in person and how I'd done everything I could, but Maleficent denied everything and questioned how I was still in a job. This made Credenza look bad, and her bosses, none of them tech-savvy, didn't understand what I was talking about with wrong codecs and file formats. It probably sounded like I was just trying to cover my butt after the fact. Plus, when it comes to money, the customer is always right. So it ended up becoming a sort of, let's just agree that we've all made mistakes thing. But it was clear that all fingers were pointing at me. Consequently, I didn't get a pay raise I'd been in line to get, meaning I couldn't move out from my parents' house, which was killing me, and was put on probation for 6 months, though I left for another job on Vulcan after 2. Part 3. Revenge is a dish best served with Béarnaise sauce and Sauvignon Blanc. About 6 Earth years later, I joined a company that sold women's boots. All shapes, colors, that's how we spell it on Vulcan, and sizes. They had their own IT department that produced their websites and other internal systems. Little did I know that Maleficent had also moved to this company at some point, again in the marketing department, which was downstairs from me. There was a promotional event soon where our company was giving away goodie bags with some freebies to anyone who signed up. The bags themselves were some high-quality laminated things that were being specially printed up with our company's branding plus a QR code. The QR code would take you to a special page on our website with discounts. I met with Maleficent, who clearly didn't remember me from before, and talked about the special page I was to produce for the website. She was a pain in the butt again. She was never available. She would take an hour-and-a-half lunch every day and reclaim it on expenses. And when I did meet her, she changed the requirements constantly. Can you just change that bit? Never mind. Put it back. Oh, actually, could you put this crappy animation at the top of the page? No, that's a terrible idea. Why would you suggest that? Etc. Also, sitting with her, I witnessed how belittling she was to everyone on her team and would gossip about anybody if they weren't there at that moment. Obviously, all the while remembering our previous encounter where she had all but got me fired. I thought about calling her out on this, but it would have achieved nothing, and I'd only just started working at this company a few weeks ago. I didn't want to make waves. So I persevered, and eventually my web page was done, and I gave her the URL to send to the bag makers for printing the QR code, but she screwed up. I was copied into an email chain with her sending off the URL to the bag makers, and she had done it wrong. The URL was something like http://www.ourwebsite/offer, but she had sent http instead. I double-checked what I had sent her, and mine was correct. She had obviously typed it out rather than using copy-paste. We were ordering 1,000 of these bags from the printers, and they were £1.15 each. 1.15 space credits. Then I noticed way down in the email chain, she had copied her password for the bag website. It was password. Yes, these oxygen thieves exist by the millions. I logged in with her details from outside work with a proxy just in case, and could see she had indeed ordered 1,000 of the bags with the wrong URL for the QR code. I quickly added the extra 0 to the quantity and also pushed the requested delivery date back to a day before they were needed. I wanted to change the URL to some porn website, but that wouldn't match what she had sent in the email, and I wanted her to be unavailable to escape blame. Part 4. The Aftermath. Honestly, I thought nothing would actually happen. I assumed the bag company would spot the URL mistake and just fix it. I assumed someone would notice the tenfold quantity increase and delivery date change. But as they say, when you make an assumption, you make an A out of you and umption, because none of these things happened. The bags arrived at the last minute and the URL didn't work. Maleficent stormed upstairs and asked why our team had effed up and demanded we put it right. I acted innocent, did some troubleshooting, and explained to her the URL had an extra T in it. Fine, change the URL on our website. Nope, the HTTP bit is out of our control, I'm afraid. It must be the bag company's fault. But wait, what's this? Your email to them with the wrong URL? This doesn't look good for you. Meanwhile, someone comes upstairs and asks, weren't we only getting 1,000 bags? There seems to be a lot more. Maleficent rushed downstairs to sort out this fresh hell that was rising around her as a warm glow welled up from inside me. I actually never saw her again. I had to travel to one of our other offices that afternoon, but a friend filled me in later. With not enough time to sort things out with the bag company, Maleficent had to rush around town to find a stationery store that could print 10,000 QR codes on sticky labels to stick over the wrong one on each bag. Apparently, she was there most of the night attaching them all, which was doubly funny, as I'm told we didn't quite manage to give away the original 1,000 bags at the event the following day anyway, let alone the other 9,000. She was put on gardening leave and fired for gross incompetence and costing the company all the extra money. Now the marketing department is run by a guy called Theodopapalopoulos. He's much nicer. And our last story. No bonus? Enjoy dealing with the Department of Labor. This happened a while ago, but I thought it would fit here. I had a great job I loved, got paid decent, had a wonderful window office with a view, great supervisor. I was just happy. I didn't get along too great with my other coworkers, but no worries there because I like being left alone to get my job done. One day our supervisor announces he's leaving to move on to bigger and brighter things. I was really bummed. He was cool, kept up the morale. Shortly after he leaves, they promote this horrible, vile creature of a manager. She was a B manager. I'll call her BM. BM hated me. She never really worked with me and refused to talk to me. She went as far as ignoring me in the hallway when I said hi. She would just avoid eye contact and walk on. If I ever made a mistake, she would hold a group meeting to have me tell people what I did, then she would tell me it was all wrong. I messed up bad and told everyone I didn't even understand basic things and the right way to do things. Well, I understood the right way to do things. Any mistakes were mostly due to miscommunications or me overthinking, not because I didn't understand the basics. But she never talked to me about it, only would publicly shame me. Oddly, I was the one she always went to if someone else made a huge mistake, because I would methodically work to repair everything, even though she claimed I was incapable of understanding anything. BM made my last few months there hell. I was working my behind off since we were understaffed, and the only other person who could help just went off to work on his own project. When we finally got new people, I was in charge of helping to train them. Once they got slightly trained up, around came review time. I was worried because BM hated me, so I knew I wouldn't get my full bonus. I'd been reporting her to HR for the way she'd been treating me and was told, "You should look for a new job." Well, I sit in for my review and am flat out told I didn't understand how to do my job, didn't understand the basics of the industry, and was pretty worthless. Wait, I did all the work and kept our department afloat for months. I trained the new people, I repaired their mistakes, but I'm the bad one? I could go on, but needless to say, BM sealed the deal. I was done. I typed up my rebuttal to the review, stating the lies she told me and attaching pages of proof. I printed it out along with a resignation letter and left. I work in an at-will state and company policy doesn't require notice. I'd already been job hunting and had an offer, so no need to stay. And now for the revenge. I am always a fan of CYA. I save copies of emails, time cards, everything. When my final paycheck came in, I realized I was shortchanged on vacation time. No biggie, quick call to HR and I would have a check the next week. Except HR were the ones who failed to do anything about BM when she was humiliating me and lying on my review. Instead, I reported them to the Department of Labor. They must have been a bit backed up at the time because it took them nearly a year to get to my case. That was fine by me. You see, the longer a company goes without paying you, the higher the fines and the more they owe you. Not only did I get my missed vacation time paid out, but they had to pay me extra to make up for withholding that pay for so long. Made up a little for the missed bonus. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.